There are countless bodies, but only one mind.
In A Course in Miracles, there is a saying, because you think you are separated from the source that created you, God, you think you have committed a terrible crime against your source, and you can no longer be forgiven by him. Therefore, you can only bear this indelible charge and hide everywhere. Because the heart is so guilty that it cannot bear it, you use the creativity that he, Source, God, has given you to project sin on forms, that is, to transfer the sin that the mind thinks it has committed to the illusions that does not exist. Projecting what you don't want to face into seemingly realistic bodies that actually are mere images. You distinguish those bodies from yourself. You think that they have sins, and those sins have nothing to do with you. You are trying to alleviate the guilt in your hearts in this way. In fact, your heart as one knows that there is nothing except the kingdom of heaven of God. This deep memory cannot be erased due to the countless separate and seemingly real images you project. In A Course in Miracles, Heart as One is a very important insight that points to your true existence. There is no other heart, only one heart. There are countless bodies, but only one heart. Body is only an image created by the same heart to transfer the guilt. In this way, when the heart sends out any idea, because there is only one heart, so what gives and receives must be the same one. When you convict someone else, no one else actually accepts it. It's your own heart that accepts it. You are physically unrelated to other people, but in fact you share the same heart with them. As A Course in Miracles says, the other person's body you see is a projection of the same heart, and there is actually no other person. Bodies do not really exist, just as you will have many shadows under many light sources. The shadows seem to be independent. They can be tall or short, fat or thin, with different postures, but they are all your shadows, all from you. All forms are shadows projected by the same heart, just that bodies seem more real than the shadows. In fact, they are essentially the same. So the same heart gives and receives the same. When you see other bodies, the kind of judgment you make about them is actually the kind of judgment you are making about yourself. How you perceive others is how you perceive yourself. You can't stop thinking about right and wrong. In fact, the thought are all sent to you. Everything you create in your belief system is for you. What a heart builds is accepted by the same heart. There are no other receptors. Belief is what you send out, and it only works for you. All you build is yours.
Recognizing the untruthfulness of the world is the way to take you to the truth.
The channel through which my message is imparted is my spokesperson in the world. The wisdom of the message is received by you through the spokesperson of the channel. On your level, hearing the message is the most important thing. The message converts your belief system into a wise belief system, a belief system that takes you away from this dream, helps you recognize your dream and remember your real identity within this dream. As what the masters whom you know about have gone through, you can come out of your dream just like them. Only in this way can you free yourselves from all sufferings and truly experience happiness. All sufferings come from the fact that the truth is basically completely forgotten. Dreams become your reality. When untruthfulness is taken seriously by you, you are deeply involved in it, and naturally the sufferings cannot be removed. Therefore, the purpose of all methods of spiritual practice is to help you recognize that you are not the truth that you are deeply involved in and you assume in your mind, and that you are merely a dream that you have fabricated. Breaking this dream and leaving it is the only purpose of all the lives in the dream. Here, I have a question in my mind. The real life is not in the dream, it is always in the kingdom of heaven. Answer. Please don't find fault with the choice of words. In fact, you are not in the dream, you just regard yourself as a person in the dream. Therefore, it is necessary to recognize that you are not a person in the dream, you are not the body and everything in your perception now. You are not anything in your dreams. Everything in your perception has nothing to do with your truth. Truth cannot be perceived, so your perception has nothing in common with the truth. What you need to practice is to recognize that everything in the world is not real. To recognize that it is not real is the way to take you to the truth. In short, recognizing the untruthfulness of the world is what you are here for. When you recognize that the world is not real, the world will disappear in your consciousness, and it can no longer restrict your freedom and happiness. Like the shadow you cast, no matter what it looks like, it won't affect you. Your freedom is released from your shadow. It is never able to limit your freedom. When you think of them as yourself, you will feel like you've lost your freedom. They have been given the magic ability to limit you. You are the sole restrictor of your freedom, and you are the sole master to release yourself. The savior is nobody but you. In the world, you can't wake up from the dreams you make, but it's an indisputable fact that you wake up in reality. You never leave the truth. How can you not wake up? In your dream, as in your shadow, the shadow has no ability to recognize itself, but you can recognize that the shadow is not you, just like you can recognize that the body is not you. You recognize your dream in your reality. You can't recognize your dream in the dream. How can your body recognize that the body itself is not real? The body has no cognitive ability, the mind has cognitive ability. In your life, you take everything seriously, and your feelings are constrained by the illusions everywhere. You cannot control your feelings. You are sometimes happy and sometimes sad, and different reactions are generated vary according to whether you deem the illusion as beneficial. How can all illusions be harmful to you? How can your shadow affect your reality? How can you empower your shadow to determine yourself? But in fact, you have been manipulated by your shadow. Whether you want to continue to be manipulated by your shadow or to retrieve your true identity and rights, you are the decision maker.